Because you have skin, it makes you, well, let me start it over. If you didn't have skin, you wouldn't even want to be here. Skin, the skin that covers your body, is a cover up. It's covering up reality. Without that skin that covers your body, I repeat, you wouldn't even want to be here. In fact, without skin, that so-called lover of yours, you wouldn't even want to be with that person. You see, skin is a vanity shield. That vanity that the skin provides, it covers up reality. And the reality is, you are nothing but blood and guts and a skeletal frame. That's all you are underneath that skin. So just imagine if everybody was born just skinless, no skin, and your guts and your insides was exposed. It would be too real. Nobody would want to be here. Everybody would just look grotesque. But you throw skin on top of the reality that you are blood and guts, and then it creates an illusion that you are this and you are that and you are so important. But really, you remove the skin off of a person, and what? You're nothing but blood and guts. That's the reality of it. Your wife, who you find so beautiful, you don't really love her. Your husband, who you find so handsome, you don't even love him. Oh, he can be tall, 6'2", muscle bound, all of that. Your wife could have curves, beautiful lips, beautiful eyes, all of that. But if you was to remove the skin off of that person, you wouldn't be in love with that person. This proves that love is only skin deep. You wouldn't love your wife if you looked at her for the first time and all you seen was just blood and guts. She didn't have no skin. If you looked at your husband, if you like men that are tall, he would just be a tall image of blood and guts. If you love your wife's pretty eyes, remove the skin, it'll just be eyeballs popping out, looking at you. But you put skin on the body, and it creates a vanity shield. Vanity hiding what's really underneath, which is nothing but blood and guts. I've said it before. Gray lives matter. See, underneath all of this skin, which is nothing but a disguise, it's just blood and guts. And a gray brain matter. Gray lives matter. And eyes that are connected to a brain. That's it. So when you unzip this skin jacket, the truth is revealed. So none of these relationships between man and woman is based upon love. It's based upon the beauty within the vanity shield, the skin. That's it. Love is just an illusion based upon conditions. It's only skin deep, like I proved in this example. None of you would stay in a relationship. It's okay. I'll give you another example. You may like a particular car, right? Why do you like the car? Because you like the body of the automobile, right? You like the shape of the lights, the aerodynamic structure of the vehicle. But if you strip the frame down and just leave the vehicle parts, the car can still operate. But guess what? You wouldn't feel the same way about that vehicle if you just saw an engine underneath. Now, that's just one thing. Okay, I get that. That's just talking about a vehicle. You don't fall in love with vehicles. You don't make love to it. But when you apply that to a human, it really exposes how shallow people, how shallow we really are. We don't love each other. We love the skin that we are in. That's it. In fact, if it wasn't no skin on top of people, it wouldn't be no such thing as racism. It's just a skin thing. An illusion. And that plays into the illusion of difference. It's just a skin thing. You don't love that woman. And woman, you don't love that man. How can you just like the skin that it's in? Let's just be real. It's just an illusion. See, I don't play games no more, people. I've stripped this thing down to the nuts and bolts. Like I gave you in the car example. That's what I've done. That's what I have done with this life that we live in. If you've been following this channel, you see you've been viewing and you've been seeing how all I do is just strip things down to the nuts and bolts of how it really operates. And when you strip a man and woman down to the nuts and bolts of it, you have to face reality. When you think like this, it's nothing left but reality. And the reality is nobody loves anybody. It's an illusion. It's just a vanity shield. That's all this skin is. It's just a vanity shield. And, that's why people, like, when they hear stuff like this, if you're not ready to deal with the truth, you will make an excuse to not accept the truth. That's what people usually do. Like, for instance, when I hear about murders and crazy things, headlines in the news, when people say, "Oh my gosh, how could someone do that?" You know why they say stuff like that? Because they are trying to deny that these things don't happen all the time. How could someone walk into a school and shoot up those many children? Like that's the first time that has ever happened. The reason why people do that, because they don't want to accept the truth that this world that we live in, is based upon violence and manipulation. That's it. Everything outside of violence and manipulation is an illusion. All of your false perceptions of life, all of this, it's going to get better and all of that. It's not going to get better. It can't get better because getting better, when you say it's going to get better, only means feeding into the illusion. It only gets better when you strip it down to the nuts and the bolts of how it truly operates. That's when it gets better. Everything else is just deceiving yourself, playing games with your mind. And I get it. A lot of times people have to play games with their mind in order to keep sanity. It's like being locked in a cell in solitary confinement, and to keep from going insane, you end up counting all the bricks in the room. You have to do something to take your mind off the fact that you are in solitary confinement. And that's what people do. They lie to themselves in order to trick the mind that what left side of the brain is saying it can't be true. So I got to lie to myself. Yeah. You got to lie to yourself. Because think about it. In a real situation, if there was no skin on people, everybody would just be ugly. Everybody would be grotesque. Everybody would just, you could see people organs, they heart beating. You could see their lungs. There would be no vanity. It wouldn't be no reason for a woman to choose this man over that man. And it wouldn't be a reason for a man to say, I like this woman over this woman. It wouldn't be nothing but just muscles and meat exposed. Almost like a burn victim. And if that was the case, nobody would want to be here. But it's a flip side to it. Now that you know this is the reality of it, that skin is just a vanity shield, now you got to say to yourself, if what left side of the brain is saying is true, then why do I want to remain in this world? If the only thing that's keeping me here is skin. Think about it. You are literally, you ever heard this saying, hanging on by a thread of skin? You ever heard that saying? That's what you are literally doing. You are literally hanging on in this life by the thickness of your skin, by 1 inch of skin that covers your body. Your epidermis layer is what keeps you wanting to stay here. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you for just telling me that. Thank you, Spirit. I just received a message. You know how they say that epidermis layer? What does that sound like? For some of you smart ones out there, for some of you code breakers who can break down these words, the epidermis layer of skin, or is it the epidermis layer of skin? Because it's a lie. It's making you think that the skin that gives you your appearance is hiding the reality. So it's making you not see the reality. So it's the epidermis layer. It's making you think you look like the skin that you are in, but really you look like what's under your skin. Your skin is just a jacket covering how you really look. Your real look is how you look under your skin. That's why when people die and they undig people from the grave, all the skeletons look alike. It's just skeletons. Cranials. They can't even identify people sometimes. Because all the cranial shapes are pretty much similar. Can't even identify this person. You find somebody's skull, right? Imagine this is an autopsy and I'm holding somebody's skull in my hand. But the skull of the person I'm holding, let's say they was some vain person while they was living, full of vanity. But now look at them. They just a cranium. That's it. A cranium. And guess what? That's all they ever was anyway. Just a cranium. They was just bones. Here, take that skull over there. You see me just throw that skull over there? I'll throw it out the window because that's all they was anyway. Just a skull. Just a cranium. What they call these phalanges? You know, under that skin, it's nothing but bones. But people don't take time to see the real you. You should open your mouth one day, right? Go into the restroom, open your mouth and put a flashlight in your mouth and look down your throat. You see all that pink inside of your mouth? That's how you really look. That dawned upon me one day when I was brushing my teeth. People don't even look down their throat sometimes. Just look down your throat and look at your tonsil hanging from the top of your mouth. That's really how you look. You just guts and pink flesh on the inside and an esophagus running down your throat all the way connected to your belly and then out your asshole. When you swallow food and then it just goes out your asshole and you just flush it down the toilet. And we got the nerve to be walking around with vanity. And you're nothing but everything that you think that you are. It's only because you have skin. If you take away the skin, you are nothing but blood and guts. So your skin is what you are holding on to. Your skin, you holding on to this illusion by the skin. You know how they say holding on by a thread of skin? Well, literally, that's what you're doing. You're holding on to this life by a thread of skin. The skin on your back is that's what's keeping you here. When you wake up in the morning, you look at yourself in the mirror, your appearance that you see in the mirror is what keeps you here. So what that means is everything that makes us want to live, vanity. They call vanity a sin, right? But it's that very sin of vanity that makes you want to live. Sin nature is what makes a person want to live. Without skin, nobody would want to be here. Which one of you would want to exist as a slug? A little slimy slug crawling around on the ground. None of you would raise your hand and say yes to that. But I thought you loved life so much. I thought you loved this life so much. If that's the case, why wouldn't you want to exist as a slug then? Because you know a slug is ugly, it's slimy, it's grotesque. So let's just be real. You want to be here because you want to be here to impress other people with the skin that you are in, the vanity, your looks. Would you marry your wife, that same woman who you say, I love her insights and I love how she make me feel? And you know, women, they good to say, oh, it's not all about looks. Like they don't look at men for looks. Oh, it's not all about looks. Would you be with your husband if he was skinless? No, you wouldn't. So that proves this thing called love is just skin deep. It's only skin deep. But a person is, what about the beauty on the inside of the person? You wouldn't even want to be here. You wouldn't even want to be with nobody if they didn't have skin. You wouldn't be caring about no beauty on the inside of a person, because the person who would have the beauty on the inside of them, they wouldn't even want to be here in that type of condition. So it wouldn't be no beauty in nobody, because everybody would hate to be in this world. Nobody would want to be in this world looking like some monster with all of their skin peeled off. So what does that tell you? It's all about the skin. That's what everything boils down to. Skin. That's it. It's all about the skin. Vanity. Vanity is what keeps you alive. Once you lose your sense of vanity, you don't even want to live anymore. Vanity, see, to a woman, vanity is like makeup, lipstick, you know, the cosmetics. To a man, vanity is more so about being macho. And am I right, man? We more so concerned about that, being macho, looked at as strong by women and looking intimidating to other men, looking like we can hold our position. See, that's the male's way of expressing his vanity. The female's way of expressing her vanity is, you know, the makeup, lipstick, eyeliner, eyelashes, acrylic nails, but it's still vanity. And vanity